13 days ago I bought this new motorhome, and in them 13 days I've had quite a long list of issues with it. So 2 days ago I took it back to Marquis in Berkeley, which is where I bought the van from, with a list of things that was wrong with it and a bit of hope that these things would be fixed. Now, it's only been 2 days and I got an email this morning off their sort of service manager who basically says all of these things, bar two smaller issues, are fixed. It's ready to collect. The other things we'll sort out, which up to now is great. I mean, if everything's fixed, yes, in an ideal world it wouldn't get wrong in the first place, but I'm a little bit more mature on them fronts these days than I used to be. So I'm going to take us along as I collect the van, and then hopefully, if everything's fixed, we get a thumbs up and we can head down to Adapt Vans, which is where I'm getting the electrical system installed. I'll show you around some of the cool stuff he's got there, and also we'll talk through what's going to be getting modified on the van at the end of October. So here's a quick look at what was on the jobs card. So first off, the overcab roof light wasn't sealing, the habitation door was broken, the travel seat stopper had fallen off, squeaking from the outer overhead pod, missing bolt cover on the driver's seat belt, the door retainer wouldn't hold the door open, the cracked rear reflector, the glove box didn't shut, and finally the fly screen, which smashes off the door as you drive. Pre-drive check done. I've got the van back. Let's see whether they've actually fixed it or not. So this is going to be the first drive. The service up to now has been spot on, to be honest. I would have ideally not liked to not have had any issues in the first place, but I suppose that's just something that's going to happen sometimes. You are going to get issues. But if the service is good and things get fixed, the issues are a lot more tolerable. And I'm willing to give them a chance at the end of the day. Like, they didn't, the place I bought the van didn't manufacture it, they just sell them. So I've just literally left the forecourt, and the list of stuff that I was told were fixed, hopefully they have been, and if they haven't been, I'll be able to tell pretty quickly. Up to now I have noticed that the squeaking on the top of the window seems to have been fixed. Well, up here there was quite a bad squeak, and it doesn't seem to be making that noise anymore. So that's one thing that definitely has been fixed. I can still hear, I think, some road noise coming from that window though, and I couldn't tell until I got it on a faster road that there was even an issue initially, until I could hear the wind whistling through it. So with a bit of luck, when we get onto the A1, it won't start whistling again, because if it does, then I've got to go through all this again, bringing it back and trying to get it fixed, and I just want to have it now. But that said, we are heading down to Adapt Vans, because we're getting everything measured up on the motorhome for solar panels. We're going to talk through the electrical setup, see where we can put things, see what we need putting in places, see where the Starlink's going to go, and all the other bits and bobs. So that's where we're off now. So we'll take you down and I'll show you around, see what other projects he's got going on, see if I can find anything interesting in his workshop. Planning a Scottish road trip doesn't have to be hard. If you want to see all of the iconic views in Scotland in one easy to drive road trip, we've already got you covered. This is the ultimate Scottish road trip. This book will guide you through the most incredible road trip you'll ever go on in the UK. We also have our NC500 Improved guide. It's not just the normal one. We've changed the start point and the finish point to include a lot of views that the standard road trip completely drives by. Then we've got the Outer Hebrides guide. So if you're looking to see the best beaches in all of the UK, white sand Caribbean style beaches with probably Scottish weather, then this guide is for you. And if you want to see the best island in Scotland, the Isle of Arran travel guide has got you covered. You can currently save 30% off all of our guides, including the digital guides, on our website using the code NEWVAN30, that's NEWVAN30. And I'm actually extending that discount code through the full month of October. So use the code NEWVAN30 and click the links in the description. I've been on the A1 from Chesley Street to Durham, which is a bit of a stretch, probably about 10 minutes worth of driving. And I'm happy to report I haven't heard a single squeak from this bit above me head, which is great. And there's no wind noise in the air pressure feeling coming through the skylight above me head either, which is fantastic. So it is early days, it might not be fixed forever, but currently it's fixed. Now, like I've said earlier when I first jumped in the van, yes, I would rather not have problems with a van, 200%. I would much rather never have an issue with a van. But as people have seemed to establish in the comments, and as I think we all know, it's pretty universal for most things, things are maybe just not built to the standards that things used to be anymore. Don't get us wrong, it looks beautiful. I love the look of it inside the van. But there might be issues with it, and there might be more issues. However, in terms of Marquis, when I rang them, I could have gotten it in early. I had to actually put them off till the Monday because we were away in it with the kids. And then it's currently only Wednesday. I was told by Nick, I think he's called, initially that he would give us an update in the middle of the week, which to me is Wednesday at 12 o'clock on the dot. And I got an update, a comprehensive one on an email with everything that's been done, and then all the other bits, at about 11:30, 11:15 on Wednesday, today. And then I managed to pick the van up as well, and it's currently 3 o'clock. So I can't fault their service, not at all. They seem like a decent bunch of lads. And again, ultimately, it's not the dealership that manufactures these, so it's not their fault that things gone wrong. And if they can fix it, then great. So up to now, happy with that. So what has been fixed? The overcab roof light now does sail, so that's good. Habitation door handle now does work, so that's also good. The travel seat stopper has been replaced. The squeaking has also stopped. The missing bolt cover has also been replaced. The door retainer, no, still broken. The cracked rear reflector has been fixed. The glove box hasn't been fixed yet, but will be, and the fly screen has not been fixed and probably won't be fixed. Well, it seems I'm forgetting how to get into Lewis's place. I think I've took the wrong turn off, so I'm gonna spin the old boat round. In all fairness, this is the first proper time I've driven it through some little villages and bits and bobs, and it's sound, I know so many people are botting on about onwards, you'll never get that down them roads that you normally get down, you'll have to stop all of that and this, that and the other, but it's not that bad. It actually isn't at all. When I was down Ripon, I felt the same, but I wasn't sure if that was just sort of beginner's luck. I'm here at Adapt, and there is one of his cool little off-road things. Sure, he's just done a full month in Spain in that, off-roading for I think 3 of the 4 weeks. It might have even been longer than that, so I'll ask him. But we're here because I need to measure up where all the electrical stuff can go, where the solar panels can go, how much we can fit on, and what batteries and stuff we're going to go for. I also want to ask him about a max air fan, because I do kind of want to put one in there somewhere. So it looks like we've got a ton of space up there, which we should be able to get quite a bit. So we're thinking
most of it's going to go on there, in fairness.
So we're thinking the inverter and all the other bits should probably fit on this side, and maybe the batteries on the other side.
Inverter there. All the little bits and bobs, the MPPTs, the DC to DCs. Probably do the little fuse panel here. The servo up here, which is the brains. I reckon everything in this area. And then worst case scenario, put stuff on the back of there.
So 2 330 amp batteries, which will go essentially down this side, you reckon?
Yeah.
Because the height isn't here, which the other side's got. So we're kind of a little bit more limited on this side. So I'm after also, while I'm on, getting a max air fan, mainly for cooking and stuff, so we can get the smells out of the van. So we were thinking, well, I was thinking this window, the problem we're going to have is to run the cables and stuff through, rather than trying to get it through the roof and all the rest of it. We would have to run a channel with the cable, and it's got further to go. This one would look a bit of an eyesore, whereas this separate one, it's got a very short distance to run into there, and presumably that'll look a lot tidier, and it's still pretty much right next to where the cooking and stuff is. So that's kind of the plan for that. We also need to still get up on the top and measure up space for the solar panels and see what we can fit on there. Looks like we're probably going to bring in the cables and stuff from the solar and Starlink in this cupboard, down and through and round that way. But there's a ton of space considering. So where I was showing you, you've got all this space here, and it's just dead space. So that'll fix the problem. We may also look to try and put a plug socket or something here.
The best sketching skills.
Best sketching skill. While he's trapped on the roof and he can't see it out, let's go and have a little neb around, see what he's got in his workshop. So like I said on the way in, he's warned us it's a mess. It's not really, in all fairness. He's changing the roof and other bits and bobs, but he does have a Git monster, proper big Unimog. So he's told us it's in a state of being built for a customer. But what a machine! Look at the size of it. Like, I know he's seen it. I've seen them at the Overland show, and you see it, they look incredible. But where the hell would you do? Like, where would you use this in England? And I bet they're awful to drive on motorways. But let's have a look, because it looks pretty nice. So he's got a lot of water. There's one water tank, two water tanks, water heater maybe, Starlink, massive kitchen area. Guessing the oven's gone here. The bed is going here. Got a multi plus 2 5,000 and another Phoenix inverter 3,000. Yeah, that's more than I've got. Quite a bit more than I've got actually. And I'm pretty sure he said there's like going to be a drop down bed here as well. Very tidily done. It's nice. The wood looks lovely as well actually. I'm sure he said that this whole thing opens up so you can access the roof and that from there, which is pretty sweet. Very high up though. I just think that's the thing with this kind of thing. They're amazing. And don't get us wrong, they're incredible. But they must be a nightmare to drive. Lewis is currently in the process of measuring for solar panels so we can see how much we can fit on there. Initially I was planning on getting rid of the aerial for the TV, but I actually quite like watching Dickinson's Raildale. It's canny. So I think that's going to stay, maybe, if there's space to let it stay. And we're also going to be putting solar Starlink on the roof as well. So fingers crossed we can make it all work without having to take anything else off. I think what he said is we're going to bond some like aluminium to the roof and then screw the solar panels to them, because then that means if we need to change something, we can. So that's the plan for now. But I'll catch up with Lewis once he's finished measuring, and we'll see what we've got, what availability we've got, and go from there. So what we're thinking is potentially a solar panel here, another one over there, and another 2 at the front there. There's currently 1 on that, and it'll be coming off. And then obviously Starlink will go in this gap, I think. And then maybe that one, we might be able to change that one for a max air fan. It just means we might have to run a bit of like trunking type stuff to hide the wire. But there's quite a bit of space up here actually. They haven't done a great job at all this bond and stuff. You see how nashy it looks? That looks nashy. That looks nashy. I think what they expect is that no one ever looks at their own roof. And I kind of wish I hadn't now. I dare say I could do that. So Lewis had a good look around. Kind of came up with a plan where everything's going to go. There seems to be quite a lot of space, so all is good for that. On the roof we're going for 4 solar panels. I can't remember the size. I'll have to let you know at a later date because I kind of forgot. But we're going for 660 amp of lithium, 2 330 amp batteries again in the back, and then obviously the inverter and whatnot from there. So all went well in the end. That we were there for probably an hour and a bit. Obviously we were talking for quite a while as well, but at least we know going forward what the system's going to look like, where things are going to go, where the cables are going to go. If we put a max air fan, which wasn't part of the original build but I've decided I want now, if we put that in, where that's going to go, where the wires would go for all of that as well. So yes, we're getting there. Things are moving at least now that I've got the van back, and hopefully by the very end of October all of them electrical modifications will be done to the van, or at least a good chunk of them, and then November, getting into that, we can get that hydraulic leveling system installed with a little bit of luck. So thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. If you've got any tips or ideas as to something else we could add, any little accessories, any modifications you've done that you couldn't live without, jump in the comments, let us know, and we'll see you in the next one.